Wagwan traders, it's your boy Trades by O, and this will be my first video on this channel. I've been trading for 6 years plus, right? So I have 6 year plus experience. As you can see by the thumbnail on the title, it's how to identify the pivot supply and demand. There's quite a few different supply and demand, but in this video we're going to focus on how to identify the pivot supply and demand. Let's get straight into the video. Right, this is the daily time frame. As you can see, my time frame is currently clean right now, right? And I'm going to show you what is a pivot demand. So let's zoom in real quick. So right here, this is what is called a pivot demand. This is what is identified as a pivot demand, right? If the candle look like an indecision candle, right, the body is smaller than the wick, then it is known as a pivot demand. And let me zoom out real quick. I'm gonna show you all real quick how powerful these demands are, right? So if I draw out this demand, guys, as you can see, let me draw that out real quick. Boom. That's a daily supply, not demand, my bad. So when I draw that, if I draw out that supply and I pull it to the right, so look left, structure leaves clue. As you can see, look, when price came to this, it didn't even hesitated, right? It just top drop. And if you want to find out how many pips that was, as you can see, this was 822 pips, guys. So price dropped 822 pips. And I'm going to show you guys some more examples, but these only work if you're on the right side of the market, right? So as you can see, this is a downtrend. I'm not going to get too much into market structure because the video is mainly about pivot supply and demand. But as you can see, price broke this structured right here. So let me mark that out real quick. As you can see, price broke that structure. When price broke that structure, as you can see, broke and closed below that structure. So this is a change of market character, so it was an uptrend and then it turned into a downtrend. And then that's when I spot this pivot supply. Now, guys, I need you all to understand that, when it comes down to supply and demand, right, you want to pick out the supply and demand that leave liquidity, right? You want to pick out the supply and demand that leaves liquidity behind. So as you can see, all of this in this area was liquidity. As you can see, let me show you all real quick what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna get a little messy on the charts. All of this right here is liquidity, right? That's all liquidity. So everything right there is liquidity, and as you can see, price took out liquidity and then tapped into the pivot supply, and then it fell. So this is a great setup. We know that we're in a downtrend because we got a shift, market structure shift to the downside, right? And price came back up, it retraced back up, and it left some liquidity right here, and then price came back and took out liquidity and tapped into the daily supply, and then it dropped 800 pips, guys. So in this video, we're going to identify more. Let's go back in time, guys. So right now, as you can see, right, this is a uptrend market. And I'm going to show you a pivot demand. Right, look right here. This is a pivot demand, guys. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Right, as you can see as well. So let me show you. Liquidity was rested below here, right? All of this was liquidity. All of this right here was liquidity, guys. Everything right here was liquidity. As you can see, price came and it took out liquidity and it tapped into the pivot demand. Now, as you can see, it tapped into the pivot demand and it went crazy. Let's say, for example, your TP was right up here, right? And as you can see, when price tapped into that zone and hit that area, 1000 TP in the space of 19 days. Your 19 bars. So that's a pivot demand, guys. And I'm going to show you all some more example. All right, as you can see how accurate that is. And obviously we were in an uptrend. That's how I know that that's a valid pivot daily demand, because as you can see, price is creating higher high, higher low. Obviously, you would not take an entry on the daily time frame. I'm showing you guys how to find them. Now, I just, stumbled up on another one, right? Let's see if price actually came back to this daily pivot demand. So this is another daily pivot demand right here, as you can see, guys. And did price come back to it? It tried to, but we missed it by probably like a a paper or something. Look how close it came. But I'm showing you that's to show you how powerful these areas are, right? Because look, it left liquidity below, it took out liquidity, and it didn't tap into it, but it came close enough, right? But I'm going to show y'all something. I know exactly what that price came to. As I mentioned previously, earlier when I started this video, right? You have a lot of different, I wouldn't say a lot, but quite a few different supply and demands, right? That you can trade. And what price came back to right here was a zone demand. So I'm going to show you how to identify a zone demand. I'm not going to get too much into zone demand, guys, but I can do that in the next video. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to go over zone demands. But I'm going to show y'all what price came back to right here, right? Make sure that you click that subscribe button. Comment below if you want me to make a video on zone demands, supply and demands. And give this a thumbs up and share this with someone that is struggling with supply and demand, or someone that is struggling with Forex, right? So as you can see, if I click on the line up here, the line chart, right? This right here, right? I would cover all of this area. So I'm going to go ahead and do so right now, right? So at zone demand, quick summary, a zone demand is a demand area that is classified of more than one candles all together. So this is more than one candles, right? Hence why it made this, peak right there, this up peak and this low peak. And that's how I find like a V, right? So I V and an actual V right here. That's how I find a zone demand. I go to the line charts and then I go back to the candle charts. Now, if we zoom in and pay keen attention to the area, as you can see, it tapped into the zone demand. So, a person like me that have over 6 years experience is not going to miss a setup like this, right? Because I'm not only focused on the pivot, supply and demand, right? I'm going to know that this is coming to a zone demand. But as I said, guys, this video is not about, zone supply and demand. So if you want me to make a video on zone supply and demand, just comment below and let me know, and I'll make a video on that as well. So let's go ahead and find some more, pivot supply and demand. Let's find a bearish pivot supply. So as you can see, market structure is very clean right here. So obviously we are in a downtrend. So now we can look for pivot supply. So as you can see right here, guys, it's pretty obvious. Right here we have a pivot supply, and we're just going to drag that into the future to the right. And as you can see, price trade off, aggressively, right? And then it came back and it tapped into the pivot supply and it fell. Now look at that. Crazy drop, right? Now let's see if we can find some more examples. Let's see if we find some more examples, guys. Let's find another a sell. Now I'll need you guys to understand that when it comes down to pivot, the supply and demand, right? It doesn't have to be a bearish or bullish candle. It can be bullish or bearish. So as you can see, we stumble upon another pivot supply, and this was a bearish pivot supply. So we drag it to the right, and as you can see, price has tapped into that and it dropped aggressively. Yes, guys, you can definitely do swing trading with this, or you can do day trading, right? It doesn't matter. It's gonna always work, but you're not gonna win every trade, but it's very accurate. So let's find some more. As you can see, this is a downtrend, but this is how accurate the pivot demand is. As you can see, we have a pivot demand right here. Tapped into it and it bought from that area. All right. As you can see, we have another pivot supply right here, and this one is a bullish candle. All right. So when it's this big, I sometimes use the body. So as you can see, price came back to the body, top and drop. This is just a video, my first video going over pivot supply and demand, guys. Just let me know in the comment what kind of video you would like me to do. I mainly trade supply and demand, right? So I can do a lot of videos on supply and demand. Just let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what you're struggling with, and I'll touch up on that topic. But this video is not really going into depth. I'm just showing you guys how to identify pivot supply and demand. Now, as you can see, we have another pivot demand right here. Boom. Just drag it to the right. We got liquidity resting right here. It took out liquidity and it tapped into the pivot demand and it bought. Guys, I'm telling you, this is very, very accurate. See, we have another pivot demand right here. We have an aggressive, sell off to the downside, aggressive push. We have a lot of liquidity resting right above here. And then let's draw out this, bearish pivot supply. If I said demand, that was incorrect. So let's draw out this bearish pivot supply. And as you can see, price came back, it tapped into it, and it dropped aggressively. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how to identify pivot daily supply and demand, guys. This is my first video, not so in-depth. If you want me to go in-depth to show y'all guys how to scale down to the smaller time frames and get an entry off these zones and stuff like that, I can definitely go into that for y'all. But this is just a quick video. There's a lot more supply and demands out there. If you guys want me to go into that, just comment below and I'll definitely make videos on that, guys. As I said, this is my first video. Let me know how I did below. Let me know if you learned something. It's pretty simple, right? It's an indecision candle and you want to make sure that you're on the right side of the market. You're always following the trend, because what? The trend is your friend. I'll be dropping videos every single day, right? Non-stop for the the Forex community. And with that being said, just make sure you go follow my Trades by O page on Instagram. This will be my journal. I don't start posting on it as yet. Just go give it a follow right now. Make sure you subscribe. You hit that follow button. Turn on that notification bell. Comment below what videos you want, right? Share this with a friend or a stranger or somebody that is struggling with, supply and demand. You never know. And yeah, guys, just run that subscribes up. It's your boy Trades by O, and I'm out.